that we got all that shit out of the way, we can talk about the really fun stuff. The first thing you need to do before doing anything else in this process is to memorize the pitch. This is so crucial. If you can memorize the pitch, I can get you on the doors and we can stumble through the next steps if we have to. But if you don't know the pitch and you're out there not knowing what to say, you're going to be met with a lot of frustration, a lot of resistance, and guys who don't memorize the pitch typically don't stick around.
Failure!
You can make a lot of money in this industry, but you are going to have to work hard, especially getting started. All right, so here's an example of the pitch. You're going to knock a door. Now, when it comes to knocking, if there's a doorbell, ring that first. You can ring it and then add the knock. And then if they answer, fantastic. Now, if they don't answer, you want to knock one more time really hard because they might be on the other end of the house, especially in homes that are in neighborhoods that a lot of the homes are larger. You probably won't hear someone knock the door at the other side of a 5,000, 6,000, 10,000 square foot house. So first you ring, then you knock, and then you knock one more time really loud. That's going to be a solid knock. I'll give you an example. That kind of knock. Then when the homeowner answers the door, you're going to look them in the eyes. And during this pitch, I want you to pay attention to things like the inflection of my voice, my body language, the volume of my voice, whether or not I pause. These are all things that you want to take into consideration. So, here's the pitch. Hey, sorry to bother you. My name's Ryan. I'm with Tempel Roofing. I was just driving by and noticed you had an older roof with some storm damage to it. Don't worry, I'm not trying to sell you anything. What my company does is works directly with insurance companies and we get them to cover the cost of a new roof for you. And the best part is, I will guarantee you, in writing, that your insurance company will approve your claim or you don't owe me anything. Who's your insurance company? All right, so that's the basics of the pitch. You need to memorize this, not because it's a perfect thing to say, but it is something that has uniformity in the company. If you are struggling on the doors, the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is to tell me your pitch. If it deviates very far from that, I'm going to tell you that's your issue. This pitch has been developed over years, and I'm talking thousands and thousands of doors. It is planned and laid out to be interrupted. It allows bullet points to give a concise and shortest possible reason of explaining why you are there. So let's break it down. First, sorry to bother you. That's just a spot filler. They're not really listening to you in that time anyways. Then, my name is, say your name, with Tempel Roofing. I was just driving by, because you really were, you're not lying, and I noticed you had an older home with some storm damage. That's exactly why you're there. Don't worry, I'm not trying to sell you anything, filler, because you are not trying to sell them anything. What you're doing is you're getting the insurance to pay for it. My company works directly with insurance companies, and we get the insurance company to cover the cost of the roof for you. That's exactly what we're doing. Now this part you need to really hammer. I am so confident that I will guarantee you, in writing, that your insurance company will approve your claim. You see when I said guarantee? Pause, let that sink in writing, pause, let that sink in, that they'll approve your claim. Finally, who is your insurance company? So why do each of these things go? It can be interrupted. Let's talk about that. Hey, sorry to bother you. I'm not interested. We'll talk about objections later. Let's say you get that. I'm not interested. Your response should be, that's okay, I understand. Hey, my name's Ryan, I'm with Tempel Roofing. Was just driving by, noticed you had an old roof with some storm damage. I don't want to buy a roof right now. Like I said, I'm not interested. Like I said, sir, I understand. Don't worry, I'm not trying to sell you anything. Do you see how the interruptions, if you can get the simple parts of the pitch, you can break it down into bullets. It is meant to be interrupted. It is meant to move a conversation down the line. And then at the end of the pitch, towards the end, you are saying that you are going to guarantee them in writing. Let me ask you this, you specifically as a rep. When's the last time you were guaranteed something in writing? Ever?
Did I blow your mind yet?
Probably can't think of a time. Go ahead. You can spend an hour thinking about this. I have very rarely had someone have a response that they were ever guaranteed something in writing. And come to think of it, frankly never had anyone give me an accurate response that they have ever been guaranteed something in writing. So, let's talk a little bit more about this. When you get to the end of the pitch, The most important thing you need to do is you need to ask them who their insurance company is. And the reason for this is that, one, it takes their brain away from thinking of objections or a way to get you away, right? Two, it makes them go through the brain and find out who their carrier is, and then it causes them to spit out an answer for you. This allows you to transition to the next step, which is getting onto the roof. So to prove the validity of this, I'm going to tell you not to think of something, and I bet you still do. Don't imagine a unicorn shitting ice cream.
What the hell you say?
Can't do it. That's how powerful the questions are. We'll talk about this in objections as well, but that will come later. If you have questions on the pitch, go ahead and call your sales manager, ask other team members, but the primary thing is you need to memorize the pitch before you do anything else. The sooner you memorize the pitch, the sooner you can get onto the doors. The sooner you can get onto the doors, the sooner you can start tracking with Sales Rabbit. And the sooner you track with Sales Rabbit, the sooner you can get assistance and follow-ups and at least helping you sign your first deal if you're really struggling. But I can't do that. No one in the company can do that for you unless you have the pitch memorized. So your assignment is to record yourself a video recording of you doing your pitch, and you need to send it to me and your sales manager. And you need to do that via text message and email. There's no excuse for not completing this, and you need to not watch any other videos until you do this step. Failure to do this is basically failure in general.
Failure! Failure! You're still a failure!